I think Honkai Star Rail is a really good free-to-play game, but it also can be very dangerous for people who are easily susceptible to gambling. My name's KushiKush, and this is just my general thoughts of playing from level 1 to 40 in Honkai Star Rail. So my backstory with this game series is that I've heard from my friends that Genshin is a fun game, but they've also put down a lot of money into it. Thousands and thousands of dollars, similar to games like League of Legends where people spend multiple thousands just for skins. I was a little afraid to get into this game even though it is a free-to-play game, simply because I felt like I would need to put down a lot of money in order to actually enjoy it. I was honestly pleasantly surprised because the game was extremely enjoyable even though I didn't put down any money. Well, at first. The game does give you benefits for putting down a little money, such as things like the battle pass and a daily login bonus, and I gave in and bought those things just because I believed it would speed up my account progression. And yeah, the same could be said that if I dropped down hundreds or thousands of dollars, my account would be really strong really quickly. I don't have that kind of money, and I also really just wanted to play the game from the perspective of, can you enjoy it without putting out money? And yeah, you can. The base character that it gives you is really powerful, and there's a unique twist around, like, I don't know, level 30 to 40, where the character kind of changes. I don't want to spoil it too much, you might already know, but I thought this was really cool. And not only that, some of the beginning characters that you get, specifically March 7th, is really important, because even though I'm level 40, I'm still running her on my team. She's one of the only few characters as of recording that has a shield, and the shield is really useful because it keeps you from dying. There's a lot of DPS characters in the game, but she is one of the only few supports. There's another one that you get for free just for playing the story, Natasha. With two of the starter characters being really useful even to like mid-game, I was honestly really surprised that they were that good. Now, you can't really talk about Star Rail or Genshin type of game without talking about the polls. Essentially, one of the main drawing features of the game, and also one of the most scariest, as people can drop down a lot of money just to try to get what they really want, and they sometimes don't even get it even after dropping thousands. So I do want to say that I did open up 50 polls initially because in the beginning of the game, when you open up 50 polls, you're guaranteed a legendary 5-star. I wanted that, so I did it. And even after I received my legendary 5-star, felt like if I opened up any more with everything that I've been saving, I just would be disappointed and not want to play the game because I want to put down money in order to get what I wanted. And it kind of feeds that like negativity vibe. I don't think the poll rate is really good. Actually, if I'm going to be quite honest, the poll rate seems like complete garbage. Your chances of getting a legendary outside of pity, I think, are like 1%. The numbers will be on the screen right here. Yes, you can play the game without pulling at all. I never felt really underpowered going through the game. I just didn't really understand the in-game mechanics, which I do want to touch on right now. So the game does have its own in-game tutorial, which it kind of like teaches you how things work, but essentially I'm just going to give you a breakdown of how things work. You have this thing called level up. It's at the bottom right when you're looking at your character, and I do recommend you leveling up at least your 4 main characters that you do want to play up to level 20. It might seem like, hey, leveling up to 20, I'm using a lot of resources, like are these resources really important? It doesn't really matter at the beginning because the more you level up, the more resources you're going to need. So at the beginning, using up whatever you have just to reach level 20 as quickly as possible isn't a bad idea because you're just going to be getting more of those as you progress, and it helps you progress quicker. There's also this thing called light cones. It's essentially when you open up your polls, you get these cards, or you can also get the cards through in-game activities. Don't be afraid to level up your cards at least to like level 10. Even if they're not the best cards, because they will improve your character's performance and they'll make the game a lot more enjoyable and easier. The next thing is traces. Traces is pretty important too, but I would only worry about traces if it's your main cast of characters, which what I mean by that, if it's the characters that you are going to be playing for like the majority of the game and you really like them because they're beautiful, they're cool, or they're strong, then yeah, level up their traces. If not, just completely avoid it. Don't even touch it because the resources used in traces are very valuable. And yes, you can obtain them through daily activities, but the game kind of gets you by locking it behind daily activities. And in order to get it even quicker, you have to use your really precious resources, which is you use for pulls, or you drop real life money in order to speed it up. You could do that. You could drop real life money. Of course, it's your choice. It's your money. Next thing is relics. It's items that you can equip to your character. At the beginning of the game, you will only have 4 items that you can equip. Later on, like around level 30 or 40, you get 2 more that you can equip. Don't worry about the ones that you get at level 30 or 40. I'm sure you'll figure it out by then. But at the beginning of the game, I do recommend you just equipping the 4 items on your character and level up those items to level 4. It does use a little bit of resources, but it's worth it. It is really worth it, because to get to level 4, you only need 2 or 3k XP, which is very little materials, and it just makes your character a lot more powerful, which will make the beginning of the game more enjoyable. Now, as you reach between level 30 to 40 to 50, then you're going to start like grinding a lot for the specific item that you want on your character, and that's when you like fully level it up even more. And the last one is Eidolons, and I found that you're only able to obtain this through rolling. So since I don't personally roll or pull or whatever gamble, my levels are 1 and 0. So I really wouldn't pay too much attention to it. It does make your character stronger, but this is more of the gambling aspect. Did you pull multiple of the same character? Well, you can upgrade that character to an even higher level. That's essentially the idea. If you have your own thoughts or advice, or you disagree or agree, feel free to leave it in the comments down below in order to share and help any other person who may be reading it. I want to talk about the game in general. It feels really comfy and open worldy, where you just walk around and you do like fetch quests, where you just do like quests where you talk to people, go to locations, you inspect things, and then you get rewarded with like very little things. But there is so many quests you can do that it adds up eventually. Also, in terms of combat, it's turn-based, and I would say it's strategic, but the only thing is I always put it on auto battle because it just seems to work. But of course, when you get to harder boss fights, you do have to kind of think of what you're doing, and I love that. I love strategy. I enjoy that part of the game a lot. If you're personally not into that, you may not like that aspect of the game, but you might like the aspect of the game where you just walk around as a cute or cool anime character and you just explore this visually appealing world. It is a very comfy game. I've been playing this game a lot actually, and I've been enjoying it. Even though I'm not pulling anything and I'm not gambling, I've been just playing with the base free-to-play players, and it's been very enjoyable, and I really do like that the base characters are good. At least March the 7th and the starter Trailblazer character, they seem very viable. It's a single player game, so you can't really play with your friends, although you can receive help from your friends, and I do have a friend who has one of the most OP powerful characters who just literally one-shots everybody, who I wish I had, because it would just make the game easy mode. I don't know how enjoyable it will be from level 50, 60 to 70, because I just feel like that's going to be a grind fest. But I honestly can recommend this game. It's one of the best free-to-play games I've probably played this year, which is weird because this is kind of like a gambling game, but it's really well made. It's beautiful. The sound is nice. It's enjoyable. It's comfy. It's not really stressful, at least in some aspects, because there are some places in the game, namely in the worlds, where you have to like battle through a bunch of enemies that that's really tough. That thing is incredibly difficult, and I don't like it because it's just so hard. I just feel like if I drop money it would be easier, and I don't like feeling like that. But I only really felt like that in that aspect of the game. In the rest of the game, I always felt like I was able to succeed if I kept my characters leveled up and I just played smart. And it's not like I dumped all of my resources into leveling up my characters. I just dumped a bit. I just leveled up my armor to level 4, my trinkets to like level 20, my characters to near max at what level they could be. I didn't want to drop money to enjoy something, and I really didn't have to. My name's KushiKush. This is just my general advice and thoughts on Honkai Star Rail, and I like it. It's a good game. If you enjoyed this style of video, feel free to let me know. I might make some more like this because I do like this game at the moment of recording. And besides that, I hope you have a great day or night. Hope things are going well with you, and maybe I'll catch you next time. Later.